Welcome back to Fresh Faces, New Ideas. My name is David. Welcome to the channel. If you like what I do, you can feel free to like and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter at @FacesIdeas, or you can listen to me when I do the weekly recordings for Center Left Radio. So, the cancel culture has been a big deal. If you watched any of CPAC, or if you heard anything about CPAC, or if you pay any attention to Jim Jordan, you'll know that according to them, it is the number one issue in America. Not the pandemic, not the economy, not anything else. Cancel culture is number one. So there's been three major things that have been covered by Republicans or that have been canceled, and why they have to be, and they've become a big deal. So let's look at them and see how bad cancel culture has been. So the first one is the Muppets. The second one is Mr. Potato Head. And the third one is Dr. Seuss. So the Muppets wasn't even a thing that I realized was happening until I was watching CPAC. And according to Don Jr., the Muppets have been canceled. Now, let's look at some articles, or let's look at an article describing what is happening to the Muppets and see if they're canceled or he's making a big deal out of nothing. Okay, so here's what's happening on the Muppets. The Muppets were on Disney Plus, so they added all of them. I think it's like 120 episodes of the Muppets. It's like 5 seasons. However, keep in mind the Muppets have been around for like 50 years. I don't even know when they started. Anyway, when Disney Plus put the show on, they put a disclaimer in front of 18 episodes. That's it, out of 120. So it's about a fifth of the entire episodes. They have a disclaimer that says this program includes negative depictions and or mistreatments of people of or color or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and they're wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversations to create a more inclusive future together. Disney is committed to creating stories with inspirational, aspirational themes that reflect the rich diversity of the human experience around the globe. To learn more about the stories have impacted society, visit. Okay, so that's the disclaimer. The disclaimer, all it says is that, look, when this was made, there had some problems to it. It's as simple as that. So it had these problems. So we're just saying they're not getting rid of these episodes. They're not, removing all of this. They're saying these 18 episodes, there's some things in it that are wrong in today's society. And this is good. This is how society grows, because this is going to be a theme with one of the other things that I cover very quickly is things that happened like 70, 80 years ago are differently viewed now because they're considered insensitive. Similar to how, slavery was considered bad or considered good when it started, and now it's considered bad. As things change, things become insensitive. So all Disney is doing is saying, especially because this is for children, they're saying, look, some of the things that you're going to see here are depicted from the past, and they are not correct depictions. There's something wrong with them, and you need to be aware of that. That's it. The Muppets still exist. They didn't get canceled. They didn't get removed. All it did is said, hey, there's some issues here, and we're going to we're going to make it just obvious. So the other one is Mr. Potato Head. So Hasbro announced that it was going to drop the Mr. and Mrs. from its Potato Head. And then that caused a whole bunch of people to be upset, because now they're canceling Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head because now they're a gender neutral potato. Which, first off, this is such a stupid argument anyway, because Mr. Potato Head, the whole thing of the toys, you can build it however you want. So anyone complaining about this is still complaining about a children's toy and getting upset about it. However, that is not even accurate to what was happening. So let's look to what Hasbro actually said. While it was announced that the Potato brand and logo are dropping the Mr., I am yet proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mr. Potato Head. So what they're doing is they're creating a separate line of Potato Head toys that are just referred to as Potato Head. For people who are trans and non-binary, so they can they don't have to see the Mr. and Mrs. But it's not like they're dropping the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, because it literally says that they're going to have it there. Hold on. Mr. and Mrs. Potato, the Mr. and Mrs. are less prominently displayed at the bottom of the box instead of the top. So now it's not that it's canceled. They're just complaining about nothing. They're complaining about labels being changed and allowing a second line in order to create a new profit margin. So this is incredibly dumb too, because you're arguing over Potato Head. The whole idea of the toy is that you can build it however you want. It doesn't make any difference. They're not even removing the thing that they're complaining about they're removing from. And this is the last one. So the last one was Dr. Seuss. So yesterday was Read Across America. I guess it was Dr. Seuss's birthday. And then the people in charge of Dr. Seuss's estate said that they're going to no longer produce 6 Dr. Seuss books. They're going to get rid of them because they portray people and cultures insensitively, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because Dr. Seuss was written in the 40s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. So obviously some of the stereotypes then are not good stereotypes now, and they display people, in unflattering ways that lead to racist stereotypes. So that's why they're dropping them. They actually did a study on this. So it's 6 books. Of them, I don't remember any of these. And it's not like Dr. Seuss is getting destroyed. They're saying these 6 books will no longer be in circulation. And, you can look at some of these titles. These are some of the pictures. We can scroll down. So this is from If I Ran a Zoo. Look, so the whole thing with Dr. Seuss is the company decided, now keep in mind, all 3 of these complaints have been from private companies. So actually, we're going to drop out of this. So let's look at this very quickly and see what the difference between it actually being canceled and the actual claims that are made. So for the Dr. Seuss thing, they're saying, look, some of these pictures, they're not built right. They're not sensitive to, they're racial stereotype drawn into them because they're from 80 years ago, which makes sense. This is how things happen. It's the same with Disney. Disney has had a lot of problems because when they first started, they drew a lot of things that are very anti-Semitic, or they were disproportionately, there were unfair characteristics or racial characteristics of African Americans or other cultures. And that's what's happening with Dr. Seuss. So once again, the argument is that the left is canceling these cultures. They're canceling the Muppets. Didn't happen. All they did was put a disclaimer that said, hey, don't have just watch this and understand it's from a different time, and the things that were represented here weren't right then. They're still not right now. Mr. Potato Head isn't even dropping the Potato Head. I mean, it will on this one segment of toys, but it's not canceling Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato is going to exist. Okay? And even the Mr. is still going to be on the box. It literally said it in the thing. And then Dr. Seuss, they're saying, look, Dr. Seuss isn't canceled. There's still millions and millions of Dr. Seuss books out there. I think he wrote like 120 of them. These 6 just are extremely bad representations of certain cultures. It's Asian cultures, it's Inuit cultures, and it is, I think there's some Jews in there. But that's all they're doing. So the argument from the right is that this is Joe Biden's America, and that they're going to the left is pushing to cancel this. Except this goes against everything they believe, because these are all private companies that are choosing to make this decision. This is them doing it, especially for the potato head thing. This is literally a private company attempting to tap into a different market. They're trying to appeal to transgender kids in order to do this. So they're reaching out for that one. Disney, in order to continue to produce things on Disney Plus to keep it such a broad platform and to apply to small children, is putting a disclaimer on it. And so instead of not having the Muppets at all, they're saying, look, just be aware of what you're watching. And the people in charge of his estate have decided, yeah, you know what, these things don't make sense these things aren't good to be showing to children anymore, so we're going to remove them. And also, these weren't super popular Dr. Seuss books. And it's not like Dr. Seuss is gone. So cancel culture is, every time you hear them complain about cancel culture, which has been their argument basically since Biden's election, is they're not focusing on real issues. They're complaining about dumb things that don't matter. And they're misconstruing the things they're complaining about. So cancel culture is not as big a deal as they're going to make it out to be. And most of the arguments that they're going to have, especially when it comes to toys, are probably wrong. So if you like this content, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Please follow me at Twitter @FacesIdeas. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.